I can't find the video again, but there was this woman talking about how domestic violence incidents are at its highest on Super Bowl Sunday, and yes, the fuck they are. But I want to talk about just how bad Super Bowl Sunday is. As somebody who's volunteered in DV in both resource centers and shelters for over a decade in multiple states all over the country, yeah, it's bad. It is. A lot of people think that it's going to be the holidays or something, regular holidays like Valentine's Day, Christmas. No, it is so bad that multiple places that I volunteered at have an entire protocol just for Super Bowl Sunday. And it's not just the DV shelters. When I used to work in that ER, we would have cases come in Super Bowl Sunday. I remember that was the first time. So I had not started volunteering in DV before I started the ER. So the ER was actually my first experience with it. And people were wanting me. They're like, oh, Super Sunday's going to be really bad. And to me, I'm thinking, oh, people doing stupid stuff like grilling out incorrectly and burning themselves or knocking stuff over. No, it was DV. And it wasn't just like regular, like romantic relationships. We're talking about incidents within the home, child abuse, freaking relatives, neighbors, friends, like constant. There would be fights. There would be so much abuse. I have heard horror stories. I've seen my own horror stories, which I can do a separate story time on, but I've also heard so many horror stories about things like the Tubi commercial. You don't know what the Tubi commercial is? There was an incident where Tubi during the Super Bowl basically made this ad that pretended like you were like somebody had sat on the remote and it messed up the Super Bowl. And since Roku's and stuff were really popular, a lot of people thought their TV was genuinely messing up, and they lashed out at the people around them thinking that somebody had like sat on the remote or changed it, and were physically attacking them or breaking stuff. There was one shelter in particular that I volunteered with one time. Well, I volunteered there several times, but there was one Super Bowl that I volunteered with them. And I kid you not, they had this entire handbook on Super Bowl Sunday because they offered a lot of resources. They had their own local line and everything for people to call. It was bad. And they would set up extra spaces because they'd be like, hey, yeah, sometimes we'll have several women who will come in, several families, kids, women with kids, just the women themselves, who will come in after Super Bowl Sunday. And unfortunately, a lot of them go back. So it was like a temporary setup because it was that common that they prepared for that. So yeah, Super Bowl Sunday, absolute nightmare. If you volunteer in domestic violence, if you're any kind of emergency worker, it sucks. It is horrible. I cannot deal with how ridiculous it is that this is a nationwide problem. Like it's a fucking football game. But in America, it's the day that has the most DV, has an increase in animal abuse, child abuse, family abuse. Yeah. Biggest day of the year for that. So yeah, not so fun fact.